Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. I'm tired. It's been a really long day. It's Saturday night and I've been out and about all day long and it's been really hot. It's finally cooling down. But I feel like I've been exposed to a lot of sun. I've been really good with my sunscreen. I feel good on that, but I just want to give my skin a moment of pampering and soothing because when you're out in the sun, even if you've been good with your sunscreen, the sun can definitely dry out your skin. It can kind of just stress it out. So I feel like it just needs some soothing, some repairing, some pampering, and that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. So if you're so ready, give the video a big thumbs up and let's jump right into the routine. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a double cleanse. I don't have a lot of makeup on, just a little bit of concealer and some mascara, but I do have quite a bit of sunscreen on that I want to break through. So I'm going to be using the Peach and Lily Ginger Melt Oil Cleanser, and I've actually been enjoying this one. It's interesting because it's a little bit of a thicker texture than what I'm used to with oil cleansers, but I'm kind of liking it because it's really luxurious and cushiony. So let me show you this texture. It's just a little bit can you see it's a little bit thicker, and it just has this really cushiony kind of luxurious silky feel. And I do have waterproof mascara on, so I do find kind of just coating my lashes in whatever oil or balm cleanser that I'm using, and then just kind of letting that oil sort of infuse for just a little moment before I start really rubbing at my eyes. I find that actually loosens up the waterproof mascara a little bit quicker. And yeah, what once felt really hard coated lashes with mascara, it feels so much softer. It feels like it's breaking down a little bit easier. Okay, and now I'm gonna go in for the Beauty of Joseon Green Plum Refreshing Cleanser. And speaking of something that has that really nice cushy kind of feel, this has that kind of bouncy jelly quality to it that I like in a cleanser. But this is really nice and gentle on my skin. I don't feel stripped when I use this, and I like this because it feels like it gives that really good cleanse, which I need because I feel like I'm just cleaning off all of the grime and the sweat and the sunscreen and the cleansing oil residue. I feel like it's just a really good effective cleanser, but it just feels super gentle. It's not even foaming up that much on my skin, and yet it still feels really refreshed and clean. Okay, feeling better already. I'm just gonna do a quick spray of the Avene thermal water because it feels so good after a hot day. I just love that. Just the misting is always so much fun. But then it just feels really cool on my skin. I just love a good mist, especially after washing my face. And this is nice too because it, it has some of those pre and probiotics in here that are really good for your skin microbiome. And that's really kind of the first step when it comes to really kind of repairing your skin, I guess. Not that my skin is damaged, but just after all that sun exposure, kind of just giving it that little extra strengthening. The first step is really making sure your microbiome is taken care of. So I'm going to go in for Old Faithful at this point. It's the Make Prem Essence Toner. I love this so much. I mean, hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? I love this. I love the jumbo size. I recently just went through a toner. Which one was it? Oh, the Soonjung, the Centella Relief Toner, which I really like. And that was, I think, a 200 ml bottle. And I emptied it so fast. I was like, oh, that's right. Now I remember why I always go back to Make Prem, because it's such a big bottle that I don't feel like I'm slamming through toner so fast. Although I did notice that a couple of months ago, they came out with a 100 ml version. This is 500. So they do have a smaller bottle, which can be good if you're not a super toner fiend like I am, or if you just want to try it out without investing in the bigger size. But if you do love it, the bigger size is a much better value. So I'm just layering on my toner, which is something that I always do because my skin is quite thirsty, and layers of toner really satisfy it without building up lots of weight. But especially if you've been in the sun, you want to kind of keep your eye on your hydration levels, because it's really easy, especially if you've been in the sun a long time, for all of that heat and the sun to actually zap some of the hydration from your skin. It can be a moment where transepidermal water loss is increased. So you may find your skin feeling a little bit tighter right? A little bit drier feeling after being in the sun. That's the dehydrated feeling. So you want to go in for lots of hydration to kind of help balance that out. And I'm just going in for my third layer right now. My skin is actually feeling pretty nicely hydrated, and it actually feels kind of cooled as well, which is good. So now I'm going to go in for the Then I Met You, the Giving Essence. And this is kind of like an all-in-one essence. There's quite a bit going on in here. And when it comes to the world of essences, I feel like I'm getting everything I need like in this bottle. So there's lots of fermented goodies in here, including galactomyces ferment, which is great for strengthening up your moisture barrier. It's great for increasing hydration. And of course, it's great for brightening up your skin. Plus it has all of these like healthy skin elements to it, like vitamins and minerals, which is kind of what you want to replenish in your skin after being outside for so long. This also has 5% of niacinamide, so we've got more brightening, but then we've also got some of that barrier support. Niacinamide helps to stimulate the natural ceramides, cholesterol, and fatty acids in your lipid layer, aka your moisture barrier. So that's really good because the sun can definitely test your moisture barrier. And then we've got some great like antioxidants in here, skin repairing and protecting ingredients. We've got a little bit of red algae for some of that like non-greasy moisture. It's awesome. So I like the texture of this too, especially right after that really watery Make Prem toner. This texture, it's like, you see, it's just dripping out. There we go. It's a little bit syrupy. It's got a little bit, ooh, it's running down my hand. It's got a little bit of body to it. And it's got a little bit of like, you can even see it on my skin, like a little bit of that kind of slip, bouncy kind of element to it. Right after that thin toner, this is perfect for kind of plumping up the skin and kind of hugging that lighter hydration into the skin just a little bit better. It's great if you are prone to dehydration, which I definitely am. But just a little bit, honestly, goes a long way with this. Even though the bottle looks small, it does last a pretty good amount of time. Now, one of my go-to serums, especially for like skin repair and irritation, is the NIOD Modulating Glucosides. I know, I'm always talking about it. I love this so much. And I'm actually going to use it tonight. My skin doesn't feel irritated, but there are so many great like skin repairing and healing components in here. Lots of antioxidants. That's a theme with tonight's video too. So even though I'm not using it for irritation relief right now, I am using it just to kind of give my skin that soothing, pampering moment that it might be craving. Even though I'm not feeling the irritation, my skin might be craving a little bit of those repairing kinds of ingredients. So I'm gonna go for it, and I love the texture too. I love it because it just kind of looks like, I don't know, like mustard or something. And I'm gonna be kind of extra tonight. I'm gonna be doing like 2 serums. Ooh. This feels so good. I love this texture. It's that creamy kind of like emulsion type of texture. So there's like a hydrating element, and then there's that moisture element too. That feels really nice, and it kind of like plumps and soothes my skin. The second one that I'm going to do, it's actually an essence. This is the Snail Mucin Energy Essence from the Klog. This is a Soko Glam brand. So is the Then I Met You essence. This is called an essence. I treat it like a serum, and I actually feel like the texture of this works really well after the NIOD. So that's why I've ordered the skincare the way I have. Sometimes you just need to ignore the names because it can kind of lead to a lot of confusion, especially if you're going to do multi-layered skincare routine like I do, which you don't have to. I just like it. But I wanted to incorporate a little bit of Snail into my routine tonight because it really is one of my go-to ingredients when I have been out in the sun, or what I call sun-stunned skin. And I don't feel like I have sun-stunned skin, but you know when you've been outside for a really long time, you're just feeling like really overheated and your skin is feeling just like a little bit like it's been through it, you know what I mean? Your skin maybe just feels kind of tired. I feel like Snail is such a good repairing ingredient. It's hydrating, it's moisturizing, it's repairing. And again, lots of antioxidants, lots of great vitamins and minerals for the skin. So it really is just about like replenishing the skin, and I feel like Snail is just the right ingredient to do that. So for eye cream, I'm gonna use the Peptides and Omegas Firming Eye Cream from Allies of Skin. This is a nice, like, nourishing kind of moisturizing. I think it was gonna like spit out like that. Kind of like a moisturizing, creamy, nourishing texture, but it's not super heavy. It's kind of got like a nice whipped kind of feel really light on the skin, which is good because I am layering on, you know, a little bit more moisture now at this point in my routine, but I don't want to be super duper heavy because it is still, you know, pretty hot out. And I'm not gonna skip my Stratia Liquid Gold, of course not. And I'm gonna mix in a couple of drops of the Ghost Democracy Soft Glow Facial Oil, which you know that I love, love, love. It's got so many great oils that are good for your skin's moisture barrier, which is why my skin really responds to it, because my skin just really does good when I'm giving it like those good omega fatty acids. But this is also helpful after the sun too, because the sun, while it can dehydrate your skin, really the core of that is that your moisture barrier is being tested, like we talked about earlier. So it's good to kind of make sure that you're replenishing that. You know that this is a staple step for me. Even in the summertime, I might skip out on it in the morning because it does get a little bit thick in the heat of the summer, and that's really the only time that I am skipping out on it, but not tonight. I want to make sure that my skin is nice and strong, and I know that my skin benefits from this step so much. All right, we're getting to the finish line, and my skin is feeling so good. You know, when you're just like really hot and sweaty and you just want to wash your face and like just do some fresh skincare, and it just always feels so good afterwards. That's how I'm feeling right now, and I haven't even gotten to moisturizer, which is going to be the Purito Dermide Balancing Barrier Balm. I did just do a sponsored video a few weeks ago with Purito. This video, it's not sponsored at all. I just happen to really like this, and it's been really, really helpful for me in the hot weather because this has like the ceramides, the skin and barrier repairing ingredients, but I just feel like they've done the textures in a way that just really work for hot weather because they're just pretty breathable. The balm is definitely the thickest of the Dermide line. They do have a little bit of a lighter moisturizer that I've been liking in the morning, but I do need like the occlusivity of the balm. So let me show you this texture because it is like a thicker, you can even see it as I squeeze it out. It's a thicker, stiffer type of cream. And it's got a good amount of occlusivity. So whenever you see something being touted as a balm in K-beauty, it usually means that it's got like a little bit of a thicker occlusive kind of a texture than a cream would, and then a lotion would be even a step lighter than a cream. It's not like a heavy cream, but it really creates an occlusive barrier. So I'm not really adding a lot of weight to my skin, but I'm kind of sealing it off, which I do need because the air conditioning is running. It's been running a lot because it's been so hot. And when I'm sleeping, that air conditioning does seem to dry out my skin a little bit. So I need that like occlusive layer. So this is almost like slugging in a way. I just didn't put it on top of another moisturizer. I'm just using it as my moisturizer. I love how that feels. When my skin is feeling really dry, which it's not right now, it's usually pretty calm in the summertime besides for like being sweaty and oily. But my dryness tends to kind of balance out in my U zone. But when I first started testing this product and my skin was really imbalanced and very dry around my mouth, I would put on a different moisturizer and then I would actually use a little bit of the balm just in the area that need a little extra protection. So you can use that product like that too. You know, you can just use it to spot treat any areas. You can use it like slugging or even like a kind of like a really occlusive sleeping pack. There's a lot of options with that type of texture. Okay, one last step, I swear. I'm just gonna use my dark spot formula from Agency, and this is what I use on my off nights with tretinoin. I actually just applied tretinoin last night, but I've been using this for especially my sun damage, but anywhere that I'm getting hyperpigmentation after like a pimple, which I'm still dealing with a little bit right now. So I just spot treat with this. I don't put it all over my face. Ingredients is hydroquinoine, it's 4%, and then we've got kojic acid, azelaic acid, and resveratrol. With Agency, they do cycle you on and off with the hydroquinoine. So I think the last time I talked about this was the first bottle of the dark spot formula that I had, which was the hydroquinoine. They actually shifted me off of that for a couple of months. My very last bottle, it was like azelaic acid. I think there was maybe niacinamide. I can't really remember, but they take out the hydroquinoine for a couple of months. And then they cycle you back on because you don't want to stay on that ingredient for a very long time. So I actually just got my bottle the other week and I'm back on the hydroquinoine. So I just spot treat my sun damage. So I have a little patch of freckles here that is just, improving so much because of this dark spot formula. So I just try to keep it localized in that area. And then I do have another spot here. It's much fainter. I don't even know if the camera's picking much of it up. I had a bad pimple here a couple weeks ago. It looks so much better, but the dark spot formula really helps speed up some of these dark spots. And then I do have one just here. A little pimple, left a big dark mark. And then just this one's really old. This one's really faded, but I'll put some here too because I have a little bit left on my fingers. But you don't want to like apply it like in a big area or like all over your face because it is like, it's not skin bleaching, but it will lighten the pigmentation. So you don't want to put it like, especially if you have darker skin. Oh, I forgot about this one. Especially if you have darker skin, you want to be really careful with your application of this. But this is like one of the best brighteners for dark pigmentation, for sun damage. It is a prescription cream or a prescription ingredient. So I'm getting mine through Agency, which is the sister brand of Curology. So it's really like online dermatology, but you do need a prescription for it. But if you can get a prescription for it, it really works miracles. I've been really impressed with the results. It really speeds up fading dark marks and the sun damage really effectively. Okay, and that's it. I mean, my skin feels really replenished. You know, after the sun, I feel like it zaps the energy really out of my skin. So after a really nice skincare routine like that, my skin feels pampered, hydrated, plump, protected, moisturized, and I've really replenished all of those great essential vitamins and minerals, and I've taken care of my microbiome and my moisture barrier. Like, it just feels good, you know what I mean? And now I am ready to kick back and relax and just enjoy the rest of this night after a really long, hot, sweaty, humid day. So I'm gonna go. I hope you enjoyed this routine. I cannot wait to see you in the next video, and I love you so much. Good night.